Thanks for joining. So, in this video, we are going to cover data warehousing concepts. First, we will understand what is the need of data warehousing. Okay, without data warehousing, what could be the problem? And then we will see data warehousing concepts with some topic. So, these are the I can say like 10 most important topic of the data warehousing, right? And this data warehousing is required when we are talking about data analytics or data engineering as well as in data science. So all three fields data warehousing concepts are required. So that will definitely help you. Please go through with it completely. So now let's start. What is the data warehousing, okay, and why it is needed? So let's say we will take a one scenario. Let's say there is a one company like ABC is like one company retails run on 5 disconnected systems. So that means it is running their business in 5 different locations. Look like disconnected system is 5 different locations, every location having their different type of like customer management, product management, inventory, billing, and human resource, right? So ABC Retail operate stores across India or any countries. Each department maintain its own operational systems, and together they generate millions of transactions over a day. So this kind of work that they are doing. Now, what is the problem if I will go direct without using data warehousing, right? So what is the business problem right now? I do have sales report take too long time to produce, data is scattered across separate systems, managers cannot analyze historical trends, every department report different numbers. So it may be possibility, right? The data is disconnected. They are not generating a proper report, right? They are not going to trend. They are not generating the historical record. So that is the one of the problem without data warehousing, right? So the question, how can I all data be consolidated into a single source for analysis? So what we have to do, we have to consolidate this particular data for single source for analysis, right? So how can we do that? So for that, we have to use data warehousing concept. So that will help you to, what I can say like, to consolidate this data. So what are the data warehousing concepts, how we can use? So it is a centralized repository that store integrated historical and subject oriented data from multiple source systems for reporting and business analysis, right? Subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non volatile. So these are the 4 different type of categories. So subject oriented means organized around business subject like sales or customers. Integrated, data from many systems cleaned into a consistent format. Time variant, keep historical snapshot so trends can be analyzed over the time. Non-volatile, data is loaded and read, not constantly update or delete, right? So these are the 4 different type of variant that we have to perform using the data warehousing. Now let's come, why do we need data warehousing? So that means the problem with the operation systems, multiple disconnected databases, duplicate data across system, slow, heavy reporting queries, difficult historical analysis, and no single version of truth, right? So how we can do it? So benefit of the data warehousing, we can centralize them, consistent reporting, better data-driven decision, historical trend analysis, faster query performance, a foundation of for BI tool. So this kind of, what I can say like, performance that we can get with the data warehousing, right? Now, first we have to understand the concepts called OLTP. So OLTP is online transactional processing. So OLTP is a one kind of concepts, online transaction processing. So the system that runs a business day to day, capturing each transaction the moment it happen. Example, Amazon order placement, ATM withdraw, railway ticket booking, banking transactions, they all are happening separately, right? So characteristics, what? Insert, update, delete, real-time processing, thousands of users, current data. So this all is happening like a transactions. Transaction means which is happening over a day, right? So this kind of one data that do we have. So the system that run the business day to day, capture each transaction the moment it happen. So that is the purpose of OLTP. It is nothing like a file where we do keep OLTP data, maybe Excel file, or it could be it could be any kind of file, any kind of the source of source, right? So it is keeping some data there. So OLTP will keep some data which is happening transaction on every day. Next will be OLAP, online analytics processing, right? So it is a system that analyze the process, analyze the business over the time. So inside this we do analyze the system, right, over the time. So tuning historical data into a insight for decisions like sales trend analysis, revenue report, uh, profit analysis, customer behavior, right? So this kind of example for OLAP and characteristics, real intensives, right? Heavy aggregations, historical data and decision support. So that all we can get with the OLAP. Next, we will understand OLTP vs OLAP difference because this will come in an interview perspective as well. So first OLTP, system, operational database, OLAP, data warehousing, right? Data. So here OLTP will maintain the transaction data, right? So that will store into database or maybe some file and that is stored into a data warehouses. Data current and it is having a historical data, right? Operations, insert, update, delete. Here we do only read the data. In OLAP we do only read the data and we do analyze the data. But here we will perform all kind of operation. Insert, update, delete. Design, it is a normalize and it is a denormalize, right? Optimize for fast transactions, it is for fast analytics. Used for thousands of users and it is used for analysis purpose only. Report time, milliseconds and it will take like seconds. So OLAP having a some kind of slower performance as compared to OLTP. So these are the kind of difference in both of them. Now one of the most important concepts that do we have, ETL and ELT. So ETL, extract, transform, load, and ELT means extract, load, transform. So what is the purpose of it that we do perform, that do we understand? So first we are having a like source where we do get the data. So like CRM, ERP, sales, inventory and finance. These are the some source of the data. So when I will get the data, then we do perform some kind of operation on this particular data, like ETL data, ETL operation or ELT operations that we have to perform integrations. After that, we are having some data warehousing, right? So it's stored into data warehouses. After that, we are having some subject like sales Mart, finance Mart, marketing Mart. So that means it is having some kind of subsets and then consumed by the Power BI or Tableau. That is a kind of business integrations, right? So end-to-end complete flow we do have, but here we do have to understand what is the purpose of ETL and ELT. So now let's start. It is a complete architecture of data warehouse. So let's start with the ETL. ETL, extract, transform, load. Extract means we have to get data from the source, right? Source could be any, like it may come from the database, it may come from the file, right? It may come from the APIs. So first we to get the data and we have to transform it. Transform is I want to filter some data, I want to perform some operation over the data, that is called transform, right? So extract means we'll get the data, transform means will perform some operation over the data, and load means we have to load the data over the warehouses, right? So first extract, read data from the source system, maybe from the Oracle, CSV, Excel, APIs, SQL Server, that do we extract, and we do transform. Transform means we do clean the data, we do remove duplicates, convert data types, join data sets, apply business rules, and then we do load the data, write the clean finished data into the data warehouse, right? Data warehouse could be like Snowflake is one of the data warehouse, cloud AWS will provide some kind of data warehouse, right? So that many data warehousing we have, even single database also can be performed data warehouse operations. So where we can store the data, that is called data warehouse, right? ELT, extract, load, transform. It is saying that first extract and load to the data warehouses. So first we are having some raw data we do load into a data warehouse. In the data warehouses we do perform some transform operation. That means some kind of operation we do perform. Like for example, why? Faster, cloud native and scalable. So used in model platform like Snowflake, Azure, Databricks, BigQuery, there we do use transform, because transform is a kind of time consuming process. So what we are doing here, first we are loading and then we are doing all kind of transform operations, right? So that all it is going to use. So in the ETL, first we do transform, then we do load, and then here first we do load and then we do perform transform operations. So these are the main difference, both of them. So here transformation before loading, after loading. Era, traditional approach, ETL is a traditional approach, ELT is like modern approach. Scalability, less scalable, and ELT is highly scalable. Deployment in on premises, right? ETL, and ELT is cloud always. Typical tools, Informatica, that do we use for the ETL, and for ELT we do use Snowflake. So Informatica is like IDMC, right? That do we use for this ETL purpose. Now let's start the different tables dimensions. So dimension table is the one of the table which do we create and which do having some kind of data. That do we have to decide, right? What data is going to store into dimension table. So what type of data? That is a descriptive data used to analyze the business. The who, what, where, and when. Like for example, so we are having a multiple tables which will store some data. So like for example, customer we have to create dim customer, product we have to create dim means dimension. So every file I can say like, or every table we will create some dimension table for them, right? So dim customer, dim product, dim date. So dim customer having a customer ID, name, city, state, dim product having a product ID, category, brand, and dim date having a date, month, quarterly, and year. So that we do create the dimension table. So it is having a descriptive data, right? Which can be described, like for example, name, city, state, something like that, product category, product brand, right? Second, we are having a fact data, which will having a like quantity, which will define some kind of quantity, which is measurable business matrix linked to each dimension by the foreign key. So this fact table, right? So the data which is part of the fact table and the part of the dimension table, that may be a part of one particular table, okay, or maybe part of one particular CSV file. So first this will come directly from the source, and then we have to divide them into two different parts. So we do keep some data into dimension table and we do keep some data to the fact table. In the dimension table we do keep descriptive data, and fact table we do keep the measurable business data, which is called like quantity kind of things, right? So for example, here we are having a three different kind of table, right? Customer, product, and what I can say like store key and date key. So that means customer having a customer ID, product key having a product, store key having a store, and date key is having a date, right? So this all are behaving like a foreign key here. So in the fact table we have to perform some join operation with the dimension table. So dimension table will be different table, fact table will be the different table. So fact table directly will perform join operation with the dimension table. So here we will having a quantity and cells. So quantity cells will be the two column, that is a part of fact table. These four are kind of foreign key here, which is perform the join operation. So measurable quantity, cells, discount, profit, something like that, and foreign key we are having a four foreign key: customer, product, store, and date key, right? Dimension table describe fact measures. So dimension table descriptive textual concepts, fact having a numerical and measurable values. Like for example, who, customer, what, product, where, store, when, date, right? So this kind of dimension table. Fact table like sales, profit, quantity, revenue, that I want to know, that time we will go with the fact table, right? Now we are having a different type of schema to design the database, right? So schema, we are having a star schema. So star schema, like for example, we will having on fact table and all are kind of dimension table. So it is advantage, simple structures, fast query, few joins, and easy BI reporting. So normally we do use like a star schema, which will easy to perform operation because it is having a few joins. Second schema we will having like Snowflake schema. Snowflake schema is having like more kind of joins. Like for example, dimension, store, and dim date. As well as it is having a different table for state, set different table, city will be different table, customer will be different table, product will be different table, category will be different table. So for every particular, I can say like category which do we have, right? We will create a separate table for them. So here number of table will be increased, as well as we have to perform multiple joins as well. Multiple joins. So advantage, less redundancy, more normalized, but the problem is that more joins and slightly slower queries. So Snowflake schema and star schema, these are the way to design a DB. So star schema is much faster, but it is having a less join, right? And for Snowflake schema is having a like more joins and having a multiple tables on them, right? Next will be a concepts called data marts. Data marts is also one of the important concepts of the data warehousing, a subset of the warehouse designed for a specific business department. Like for example, source we are having a data warehouse, right? So data warehouse we are having a like sales mart, finance mart, marketing mart, HR mart. So we will dividing different mart. So it is a one kind of subset of the data warehouse, right? Next we are having a end-to-end flow. So from CSV file to dashboard, I need to create some dashboard for the CSV file, right? So first what I will do, I will extract data, maybe come from the different CSV file. Then we will perform the transformation operation. We will clean, maybe having some missing values, some null values, maybe some duplicates, maybe we have to confirm the different types. So first we do get data, then we do transform data, and then we do perform some kind of modeled operations. That means we have to divide them data into different tables. So that could be dimension table as well as fact table. So dimension table having a descriptive data, and fact table will having a measurable data, right, which could be numerical form, right? And then we do load data warehouse, right? So here this part, what I can say, like transform part may change. That may, if it is a ELT, right, load and then transform, that means transform will be happening after the load, and ETL transform then load, so that can be changed. So this second step will be changed, then we do load and then perform some consume through the Power BI. So that is a complete end-to-end flow, right? So what is the benefit we do get? So ABT retail can now answer total sales by state, top selling product, monthly revenue, top customers, revenue by the categories, store wise performance. So every report have a single query against the sales smart star schema. So that is a kind of end-to-end complete result that we can get it. So that could be one hands-on lab that we can perform, right? So we are having some data set, customer.csv, product.csv, store.csv, and sales.csv, right? So what do? We do load CSV file into SQL Server or PostgreSQL. Then we will create dimension table, customer, product, store date, and create the fact sales table, load data using ELT or ETL process, assemble the star schema, write analytics, SQL queries, build a Power BI tool. So that could be all end-to-end project that we can do it, right? So that much all in this particular video.